I'm Virginia Brower. I'm here at the Valley City Barnes County Public Library doing a kawaii drawing lesson. And today we are going to be doing a squirrel. And the squirrel is inspired by the artist Winnie from the YouTube channel Draw So Cute. And so that is what we're gonna go ahead and do today. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start the squirrel. And we're gonna start with a nice big arch on top. And again, I'm starting with pencil. That way, if there's any mistakes made, that we can go ahead and erase those mistakes right away and make some corrections as we go. So then we're gonna go ahead and kind of go outward at an angle and bring that angle in. Go out at an angle. Bring the angle in. And you want to try to get those to line up as best as you possibly can. And go ahead and connect those lines. Then after that, we're going to go ahead and draw the body of the squirrel. And we're gonna go ahead and start with going about 1/4 of the way in on your squirrel. And you can make 2 little tabby tabs to mark where you're gonna do that. And then you're gonna go ahead and draw just slightly out a little bit. Not too much though. And bring that slight curve in towards the end there. This will be the upper body. The legs we're gonna do in a little bit right here. I'm gonna go ahead, bring it out a little bit, and bring it back in. All right, so then for the legs, we are gonna go ahead and draw a little hump that goes further out, but we're gonna go ahead and keep doing these kind of arching lines and bringing those lines in. Another hump on the outside here, drawing that half arch. And again, trying to make sure that that lines up. And then from where that's at, you are gonna go ahead and we're gonna draw a half moon from where the thing is, and then connect the bottom with just a slight curve. And we're gonna go ahead and do that on the other side as well. And then you just connect the bottom. And now we've got the body of the squirrel. So now we're gonna go ahead and go up and draw the ears. And the ears, you want to do close to the edge of the head where the curve starts on each side. And you kind of want to line the ears up too close to the same spot. If it helps you can go ahead and use like a ruler or a piece of paper to kind of line that up. And then I just make a matching line going down. And then we're gonna go ahead and draw the tail of the squirrel. So you're gonna start just past your left ear, or the right ear, depending on if you wanna make it on the right side. I'm gonna go ahead and make it on the left side. And start with a big arch. And we're gonna go ahead and bring that arch all the way around, kind of making what looks like a fishing line going all the way around like that. But we don't connect it to the body yet, because now we're gonna go ahead and start with a point about there. And it's a little bit inward from where your tail is going in so far, because then we're gonna go ahead and curve it out just a little bit to connect those endpoints. And we're gonna go ahead and bring that out. And we're gonna bring this tail all the way down to his feet. and connect at the bottom of his feet region there. And now he's got a big tail. Then we're gonna get the arms in there, and the arms we're just gonna do. You can kind of pick where your arms are gonna be, but you kind of want it within that fourth of a region from the bottom of the head to about fourth weight down. And you're gonna go ahead and draw a little arm coming inward and bring it down, and the bottom one extend further out. And you're gonna do that for the same thing on the other side. We're gonna go ahead and extend that further out. Okay. And then from there, we're gonna go ahead and make his stomach. And from here, you just kind of just go down from where I'd kind of say the elbow is of the squirrel. And just add some like zigzaggy lines to create kind of a fur effect. And then when you're bringing it all the way down, bring it all the way down to wherever it reaches the bottom of the squirrel. And then you're just gonna do that on the other side. It doesn't have to be the exact same as the first side, but just however you feel like doing it until it comes down. And for our squirrels, we're gonna go ahead and draw a scarf. If you don't want a scarf, bring your stomach line on a connecting up here. But since we're drawing the scarf on the squirrel, I'm gonna go ahead and start here, which is about an eighth down from the bottom of the squirrel head. And drawing that straight line, I'm gonna draw it all the way through the hands just so I can see where I'm going, and come back and erase the lines that are over my hands. And then I've got that part of the scarf. When we come to this part of the scarf, I'm gonna go ahead and draw a line coming from slightly inward, and we're gonna bring it out and down, and I'm gonna draw another line with it, and then connecting the scarf at the bottom there. And I'm gonna go ahead and draw another line here, further in this time, and I'm gonna bring it down, and I'm gonna make that one just slightly longer than the other scarf, and then I'm gonna come back up through my first scarf so that that one looks like it's in front. And then I'm gonna go ahead and erase the lines that are in my scarf so that the scarf is on top of the body. And again, this is why we are starting with pencil, so that we can go through and do this without having to worry about making a mistake. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and add the eyes. Now again, this is a kawaii drawing, and that is a cutesy drawing. Kawaii in Japanese means cute, so we're gonna go ahead and draw big eyes, and you're gonna want to make them for the squirrel about a fourth of the head size. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Try to make your eyes relatively the same size for the unifying. But nothing has to be perfect here. If you want your circles to be perfect, you can go ahead and get something that's circular and round and just draw on the outside of it. That way it will be a circle. If not, you can just go ahead and freehand it, and that'll be just fine as well. And then we're gonna go ahead and just draw a little eyebrow. You don't have to draw the eyebrow in it if you don't wish to, but it does make the eye look a little more realistic. And then we're gonna go ahead and draw the nose, and we're gonna go ahead and do a little archy arch in between the two eyes. And then from the bottom of that, I'm gonna make a bigger archy arch to make my nose. And then we're gonna go ahead and make the lines that are associated with, I like a cat or a dog's mouth when you're drawing a cartoon cat or dog. And then for the eyes, I do a half moon on the right, a circle in the middle, and another half moon at the bottom. And because my half moon is more this direction, whatever you decide to put your half moon, just make sure that the one on the nose is also kind of lining up with that to show where the light is coming from. And then we're gonna go ahead and draw the acorn that is with the squirrel. And so I just draw a arch from one hand to the next one, just like that. And then I come in and just do another arch. We're gonna go with a little bit of a thinner arch though, at the bottom there. And then I go ahead and draw another line in the middle to get the top there. I'm gonna go ahead and erase the scarf line that's there. And I'm gonna add the little top. Then I'm gonna go ahead and just add like a shingles motion. So we're gonna go in and add some shingles to get the effect of the acorn's texture. And there our acorn is done. And then if you want, you can add some whiskers. If not, you don't have to add some whiskers. And then now we can decorate our scarf however you want. I'm a big polka dot fan, so I'm gonna go ahead and put polka dots all over my scarf. If you wanna do stripes, go ahead and do stripes. If you wanna add tassels to the end of it, you can go ahead and just add a little line out and make this edge jagged to give the tassel, and then add lines going in to give the tassel look. If you don't want to have that on your scarf, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to go without the tassels myself. And then I'm just going to keep adding the polka dots. And then we are drawing a little scene. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a pumpkin next to the squirrel. And to draw the pumpkin, I start with the stem. So I draw a circle or an oval. It can be an oval too. And then I draw two curved lines from matching the curved lines there. And then I draw an oval going around from one end of the stem to the other. And this does not have to be even at all. Pumpkins are not even to begin with. And then I close off this with another line there. And then I go ahead and make sure your lines are curved as you're drawing a pumpkin, or the lines on the inside of the pumpkin, because a pumpkin is circular and we're giving it that shape of circularity. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw the lines, making these arched movements to give the pumpkin a feel of being real. And then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and draw a line straight across the bottom. Right here, just below my squirrel and my pumpkin. And then I'm gonna go ahead and draw another line that is just above the squirrel's feet and not quite above the pumpkin. And I'm gonna go ahead and make that as straight as possible, but again, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight because we are drawing a tree branch. And trees are not perfectly straight. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just add a little branch here where I'm taking two lines from the middle of the branch, drawing them straight up, and then connecting them with an oval. And if you need to correct the lines once you draw the oval, that's perfectly fine. And then go ahead and erase the lines that are here, so that that one is in front instead of behind the tree branch. Now our squirrel is sitting on top of a tree branch. And just for the final kind of decorative purpose, we're gonna go ahead and draw some leaves. I draw 2 different types of leaves. There are many different kinds, but we're gonna go ahead and draw leaves. One leaf that looks where you just draw 1/2 moon and then draw the other half of the moon, and at the bottom you add the leaf stem and then draw a straight line through the middle, and you can just add whatever vein lines you want to add to the leaf. The other type of leaf that I will be drawing is taking your pencil. You're going to start at the bottom and you're going to make a little curve, and then you're just going to curve it until you get to the top. Wherever you want to end it, however big you want your leaf to be, that's how many curves you make. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side and just curve, 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 curve until I connect it at top. And then I draw a little stem at the bottom there, and we're going to do the same thing as with the other leaf, draw the line up the middle and add some veins to it. Now we're just going to go ahead and add leaves wherever you would want to add leaves in your drawing. Wherever you feel that they're needed, you can twist them, turn them, whatever direction you want them to be. Just put enough that there is enough in the background and below the tree branch to just add a leaf falling effect. Alright, so once we are done drawing the leaves, we can go back and correct anything that maybe isn't the way that you want it to look. For me, I'm just going to go ahead and round my ears out just a little bit more. Alright, so once you've made any corrections that you would like to make, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step, which we're going to put away the pencil because we are satisfied with the way this looks. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a Sharpie, and you can go ahead and use a black marker, a black pen, whatever you want to use to outline this so that we can go ahead and color it. Make sure that if you are using pen that you wait long enough before you erase, because or else it is going to smear. Markers and Sharpie don't have to wait quite as long, but do wait just a little bit so that it dries and doesn't smear on you. But let's go ahead and outline our squirrel and the rest of the scene. And just kind of a quick tip, if you are using a thicker drawing utensil than like a pen or a fine point marker, when you're doing like thinner and smaller lines, go ahead and lift your marker up a little bit as you're doing it and draw nice and lightly. That way the line will be slightly thinner and you can work around having the thicker marker. Markers and pens will not bleed as much, but if you press really hard with the marker will bleed as well. All right, now that we have completely outlined our squirrel in Sharpie, marker, pen, whatever you have chosen to outline it with, we can go ahead and take an eraser from either your pencil, or if you have like an actual eraser, go ahead and do that. If you have pen and you think you've waited long enough, wait another minute or two because it will smear. And markers and Sharpies can go ahead and erase right away because your marker and Sharpie should have dried fairly quickly. I'm just going in to erasing the pencil lines on the color it. You do not see pencil lines. And if you're erasing and you do notice that your pen or your marker, for whatever reason, is smudging, go ahead and just stop and let it dry some more. Wait another minute or two before you continue. And then you can go ahead and go back in and erase. All right, now that we've finished erasing, we can bring our scene to life with some color. I'm gonna go ahead and color with some crayons. You can choose to color in marker, colored pencil. If you're comfortable coloring in pen, you can color in pen. Whatever medium you would like to use, you can go ahead and use that. For me, I'm gonna go ahead and just color my squirrel in some browns. Now we are doing a kawaii drawing. And if you feel like you want to color in outlandish colors, feel free to go ahead. I normally would use a light pink or a light blue or a light purple, but I want to make my squirrel a brown squirrel today. And that is okay because kawaii is a culture in Japan that is about a cutesy culture, and they often depict colors of pastel pink, pastel purple, pastel blue, white, pretty much any pastel color you can think of, they use. And so feel free to go ahead and make your squirrel whatever color you want that squirrel to be. And when coloring, particularly when it comes to crayons and colored pencils, when you start coloring in one method, stick to that coloring method. And what I'm talking about is some people color with vertical lines, some people color with horizontal lines, and some do the circular motion. Whatever one you decide to go with, stick with that one because it'll just make the coloring go smoother. If you're coloring in marker, then go ahead and I typically do a outline and then kind of just go the same direction the entire time. So feel free to color it however you wish. I'm going ahead and doing the circular motion. That's my favorite way to color. And I'm just going ahead and on another sheet of paper below me, I'm just checking my colors to see if that's the color I want to use. That way I don't have to do it on my paper. So I would suggest having another sheet of paper that you can check the colors on if that's something you would like to do. Since I'm using a lot of browns, I'm going to make sure that I'm using, the one that I want to use, and the spot that I want to use it. Alright, now that I'm done coloring the squirrel, I'm going to go ahead and move on to his eyes. I'm going to fill in the pupil region. And his nose while I'm at it. Leaving those highlights open. I'm going to go ahead and color in the iris part of the eye. I'm restarting the coloring here. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and color my pumpkin. I'm going to color him bright orange. And since I already have so much brown in my photo, I'm going to go ahead and do a green for my stem of the pumpkin, since pumpkin stems are also green. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the typical leaf colors in fall, other than brown, because I have so much brown already on this photo that I don't want to put any more brown on it. So I'm going to go ahead and use orange, yellow, and red, mine specifically scarlet, and just color in those leaves to make them nice and bright. I'm also choosing not to do the brown since my squirrel is brown and I want my squirrel to be the focus of the photo, even with the colorful leaves falling around it. So I'm going to make sure that the leaves don't take too much away from the squirrel. Alright, then last to complete this scene, I'm going to go ahead and color the background in a light blue for the sky. And this is kind of just to bring out the whole photo or just bring it together since I'm drawing a scene. And when I come to the edges of pages like this, I do like this little quick flicking motion in the direction of the edge of the page. That way I'm not getting weird lines at the end of it there. And then I come in and will color the rest of it. All right, now that we're done coloring, we now have a finished squirrel. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give this video a thumbs up if you did. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Again, go ahead and check out Winnie's channel at Draw So Cute. This was a squirrel inspired by her channel, and that's actually where I learned to draw kawaii drawing, so go ahead and check that out. And have a great rest of your day. Bye!